Welcome to Everyday with Jesus for November 30th. Mark my words. The scripture is Acts 13:13. Let's look at that. In Pisidian Antioch is the chapter title. From Paphos, Paul and his companions sailed to Perga in Pamphylia, where John left them to return to Jerusalem. From Perga, they went to Pisidian Antioch, and on the Sabbath they entered the synagogue and sat down. Mark my words. John Mark was a young man, the cousin of Barnabas, who agreed to travel with Paul and Barnabas on their missionary tour to Cyprus and Asia Minor. Halfway through the journey, he gave up and returned to Jerusalem. Paul was so upset that he refused to take Mark with him on his next trip, which tore apart the history's first missionary team, Acts 15:36. That's so sad. How easy to become aggravated, disappointed, and disillusioned about someone's failure. But that's not the end of the story. John Mark later became the associate and translator of the Apostle Peter and the writer of the second gospel, the Gospel of Mark. Some years after the incident in Acts 13, Paul commended Mark in Colossians 4, verse 10. And in his final letter, Paul described Mark as a man who had become very useful and valuable to him, 2 Timothy 4:11. If someone has disappointed you, don't give up on them. We all need time to mature, and it's always wise to let mercy and patience prevail during times of growth. Then let God complete the development. Those are some really wise words. I know so often we want to just give up on people, but it's so important, isn't it, just to give people grace and to give people time. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And so I just hope that today and this week that you can just give grace to people around you. If they stumble and fall, just use your hand to pick them up instead of shaking a finger at them. And then that would just encourage them to grow even more. And it also models, especially for our kids and other people around us, when we can be forgiving to others, then they can be forgiving to those around them too. So I like that. Mark my words. We can all be better if we learn to forgive and get along. Give people a second chance today, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of the Everyday with Jesus devotional book by going to davidjeremiah.org or by calling Turning Point at 877-998-0222. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for Him today. See you tomorrow.